Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well tonight. My name is Chuck, Alaskan Ballistics. This is late night. Not really late night in Alaska. It's late night for the East Coast. Late night gun chat, or in this case, late afternoon gun chat because the sun's still up in that gaining daylight time. You know, it's pretty nice for gaining 5, 6, 7 minutes of daylight a day. It's pretty sweet. The snow melted off the roof of my house from where I've already raked it off. Like there've been some pile up there, so it's pretty cool. The places I didn't rake are still like packed that deep full of snow, but yeah, is what it is. Anyway, if you've never been to one of these late night gun chats, this is basically you ask your questions, I give you my answers. It's worth exactly what you pay for it, unless of course you give a super chat, in which case it's worth way less money than you pay for it. And we'll just have a good time discussing guns, hand loads, hunting, politics, red flag laws, Trump getting arrested, whatever you want to do. Which he should be because he supported red flag laws. All politicians that supported red flag laws should be arrested for violating their oath of office. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you say hi if you're in the chat. I can't shout you out and say your channel name and all that kind of stuff if you're not in the chat. So I will start off with that. JJ Griffin was the first here. Thanks, JJ. Always faithful here every week. Bending Ballistics, what's up? How you doing? Keith Gregory, always here. Appreciate it, Keith Gregory. Hunter Kirk from North Idaho. Have a good one. And Chris Heisteman. Good evening. How you doing? Smells like moose in here. Smells like moose something. Howdy, Avero. What's up? Rich B, how you doing? Good to see you. A lot of people in here. Got 19 people in the chat according to this. And again, we're just going to have a good time, ask our questions, that kind of thing. Got some videos coming up. I got a review of the SIG X10. Got a review of the Tangfolio EAA Witness 10. Bartlett, Tennessee here. Cool. Go Vols. I've got a review of the High Point 10 coming up. I've got a review of Predator backpack armor. So that's that. I've got my 458 SOCOM working. So I've got a video on that. I'll probably put that video on Rumble just because I'm going through different springs and explaining different parts and how to put them together and stuff. And YouTube doesn't really like that stuff because they're against freedom of speech. And so that's basically what it is. So Jim Wrangler's here. David Posey, what's up from Tennessee? What's up from Tennessee? Go Vols. You hear the Enduro or whatever powder will be discontinued? I have not. What's Enduro? Never heard of Enduro powder. Alliant? Are you talking about Alliant powder? Joe Gilbert, good to be here. Love your stuff. Joe in Louisiana, good to see you. All right. I have 2 EA guns, 10 millimeter Elite Combat Sport, and a 40 caliber double action. My favorite guns, man. Yeah, they're pretty good, those EAA guns. Jim Stoffel, doing pretty good. Question, lights on a bear pistol, yes or no? Yes. And if yes, what are some people's recommendations for cold and harsh weather lights? I just have O lights on my gun. They work. Because, I mean, I don't spend days and days at a time in the wilderness with a light on my pistol because it's like where I go hunting, it's like not dark. 4 IMR powders. Okay. Yeah, but lights on a bear pistol. Yeah, definitely like lights on a bear pistol. In fact, so I've only been in a few bear encounters. I fired one shot as a warning shot. That's not true. I fired 2 shots in the second one, but we think the bear had already walked away. It was in the bushes. But I fired them from my shotgun with a handheld flashlight on the pump of my shotgun, which is more difficult than the police in the movies make it look. Yeah, or maybe I'm just clumsy. Yeah, that night I carried my Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm with 147 grade hard cast in it just because it was the only holster I had at that time that accommodated a light. Now I would carry my Glock 29 because I have a holster that accommodates a light. So, yeah, absolutely. You want to carry a gun with a light on it every time. It also, the light adds to the weight of the gun, making it front heavy, which helps you with recoil. I mean, people don't believe me, but when I shot Michael Kaler's Smith & Wesson 5-inch Gen 1 core or whatever it is, and I shot my 5-inch Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 with the light on it, his was ported, mine wasn't, and they recoiled right about the same. Like, there wasn't enough of a hills beans of difference in there. Michael Kaler, if you're listening. Let's see. Cool. Thinking of buying a 4570 rifle. Any suggestions? Whichever one's available. They're hard to find. Whenever I see them on gun deals, I'll post them on my MeWe page, Eyes and Ears Tactical. I have the Henry X right next to me. In fact, if I had to grab a gun because someone's breaking in right now, it would be my Henry X because that's the one that's next to me and it's loaded up and ready to go. So please break in the house, Grizzly Bear. I mean, don't do that. That's bad. Yeah. So what's up, David Walcott? All the gun control stuff be addressed. I say stock up on ammo, guns, and mags. Yep, agreed. Do you trust Tika? In general, yes. I don't trust him to be the most accurate gun. I don't trust him to be the most robust gun or even the smoothest gun. But yeah, they do that. They do work well. Yep. Henry Color Case Garden Harden 4570 Eyes and Ears. Yeah, that's a good one. If your life depended on one, if would I trust a Tika if my life depended on one? Absolutely. I mean, what light on your Glock 29? Just an O-Light PL2 Mini Valkyrie. Yeah. You're energized tonight. I love it. That's funny because I just ate some chocolate cream pie that my wife made. Getting fatter. 4570 ammunition hard to find too. Yeah, it's not that. You can find it though. It's there. All right. Thoughts on Weatherby? I love my Weatherby. I have a Weatherby Vanguard First Light. I mean, it shoots MOA and it's lightweight and checks all my boxes. 26-inch barrel for velocity. Yeah. Let's see. Henry X. Excellent. Yep. It's good suggestion. Yep. Why do gunshot shops? He's corrected later. Pretty much anywhere don't display the Glock 42 and 380 anymore these days. I carry one as a backup. 380 is kind of just a pocket pistol, low caliber round. I mean, most people are going to say 9mm is the lowest they would go. That's why. I mean, you know, if you can shoot it accurately and you have the right rounds in it, sure. Yeah, I mean, put it right place. Go ahead. 44 mag CZ 454 Kasul. What are you asking about, buddy? I don't versus. Oh, versus. No, you go with 454 Kasul if you can stand the recoil. Do you recommend upgrading the mag spring for hard cast lows? No, I have not had to do that. Running a KKM barrel in my Glock 20 Gen 4. Yeah, I have not had to do that. Not at all. The main spring, the recoil spring, yes, get a 20 or 22 down. So, how many refrigerators can a grizzly bear behind a 4570 be defective? That depends on how much food is in the refrigerator at the time. But assuming they're empty, probably 2 or 3. I don't know. It just depends on what the material inside is, how thick the insulation is. What's up? Watched your Siley Red Dot video and just picked one up for my 410 Rossi turkey gun. Love it. Cool. Yeah, the Siley Red Dot's doing great. I mean, it's been physically turned on for months and hasn't even gone out yet. So, thoughts on the 360 Bushwhacker? I have not really studied it yet. I have nothing. Any more testing on the PSA Dagger? No, I have sold that gun. I did not need that gun. So I just bought it because it was on sale. And like, okay, another 9mm handgun. Sell it, review it, and sell it. I pulled a choke on that one. I just wanted to play with one for a little bit. So the guy I sold it to is probably in here on the chat right now. So that's that. 380 is the backup for the backup. Yeah, agreed. Don't sacrifice the fridge to kill the bear. The beer is in there. Yeah, that's a good point. Side note: black bears love Rainier beer over other brands. Cool. I'll pour that on my base station. So good to know. Good to know. So caught up with the chat. That's a interesting. Don't do that very much. I don't even know what Rainier beer is. I don't drink beer that often. I have to drink gluten-free beer too. Here we go. Recommendations for 10 millimeter ammo to carry while hacking. Live in New Hampshire. So Kevin, Battle Bean 762. Good to see you in the chat. Underwood 200 grain hard cast. Underwood 200 grain XTP. Underwood 140 grain extreme penetrator. The G9 Woodsman's good. The Buffalo Boar, probably the best penetrating one, is the Buffalo Boar Dangerous Game all copper monometal 190 grain. And I think I got videos with all of those in that. My personal favorite is the if you load your own is the CKB cast bullets. And from ckbcastbullets.com. Tell them Alaskan Ballistic sent you. I don't get anything from that, but just tell them anyway. He has sent me some free bullets to test. And I was really, really impressed with those. So it was good. It's good stuff. So I would not carry a hollow point that's known for fracturing. So you'd want an XTP, and you'd probably want 180 or 200 grain for sure. You wouldn't want a Spear Gold Dot because they open up way too quickly in like bears. Now, do you have some moose crossing the border from Maine into New Hampshire? Crossing the border from Canada and places like that. Are there some moose up there, or you just worried about black bears? That's the question. Because if you're worried about moose, then yeah, you need to get the heavy hard cast. It's just black bears. If black bears are fairly small, 300-400 pounds max, then yeah, you'd probably be okay with the 200 grain XTP. So Window Weaponry is pretty good. At least originally, they were the original Bushmaster before Walmart and the DuPont brand took over Bushmaster and made it crappy. They were the original Bushmaster before they did that. So best quiet 9mm suppressor for a 5-inch barrel. I'm the wrong person. So I would probably ask go on the NFA review channel, but you'll need a booster probably. And yeah, I would say, any of the good ones are good, but I would say one of the Silencer Go hybrids or one of the Banishes from Silencer Central, which I just posted a link to Silencer Central today on my MeWe page. Just hit that link and go in there and look at anything you want. So, yeah. In Washington State, a guy called the game department because he had a bear passed out in his yard. He was planning a barbecue, and the bear had bit into something like 60 plus Rainier and only 3 or 4 other brand. That'll do it. What's up, Philip Mullis? How you doing? Mine are lead and small hollows, not wide cutters. Yeah. All right. Thanks for recommendations. I have a Springfield XDM10 Elite with 4.5-inch Angels barrel. If that changes anything, yes, we do get moose. Oh, yeah, I would stick with 200 grain hardcast from Underwood, coated hardcast from Underwood. You can shoot the 220 grain Buffalo Boar. Just make sure you run about 4 or 5 boxes through your gun and make sure it runs reliably. Buy 7 boxes, run 4 or 5 of them, save the rest. Like, I know that's a lot of money, but that's probably the best thing. Just make sure it runs through your gun, The XTPs be enough for a 29 in the woods concealed carry. 200 grain XTP, yes. I probably, if you have large brown bears, probably not. 200 grain hardcast for that, but the Underwood hardcast for that. But yeah, not 200, not the 155 grain. 180 grain would be pushing it. You better make an eyeball shot kind of thing. That's Lee Van Cleef. Okay, cool. Would you recommend changing the guide recoil rod on G20 from plastic to stainless steel? If you can afford the tungsten one, afford that. Like $80. Because tungsten doesn't rust. Or titanium. You know, if you can afford the tungsten or titanium ones, that's the one to go to. I have the steel one. I have had the steel one rust in my Glock 21 when I converted to 45 Super. But it's usually just surface rust. It rubs right off, but it has caused the gun to stick before. So that's not something you want to think about very much. But you do need to make sure if you have a stainless steel guide rod that you periodically check it every 2 or 3 months and make sure it's okay, good. Semi-wad cut hard cast, good for bear defense. Yeah, I shot one through a grizzly bear skull and pulled it out the shoulder. So yeah, I would say so. As long as it's hard cast and the Brillo harness is above 16 or 17. So yeah, my buddy who loaded me my first 45 Super rounds. That's what he did. So yeah, I would definitely do that if I were you. I would definitely do that. For semi-wad cutter hard cast. All right. A lot of good questions tonight, guys. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So things we got going in the future, we're gonna do a 9mm versus 40 video with ballistics gel that I gotta bake, and we're probably gonna use federal HSTs, and then we're gonna do like kind of maybe a best 9mm defensive round kind of thing, that kind of thing. Any recommendations for 300 Win Mag ammo? If you're living where there's big creatures, stuff that doesn't break apart. So stay away from SST, ELDX. There's several other ones that just kind of break apart on impact. Nosler ballistic tip isn't as bad, but I would stay away from those. Norma Bond Strike, Federal Terminal Ascent, Federal Fusion, Spear Gold Dot. I would anything Barnes is good. The TSX won't expand at long ranges though. Gotta be careful about that. I'd say the Barnes LRX 190 grain. That's what I'm sighted in with. Their factory 190 grain load. It's pretty good. It didn't chronograph what it was supposed to, but it's pretty good. Barnes, TTSX is good. Hornady CX is pretty good. Accubon long range bullets are good. Nosler partitions are good. So there's a lot of good ones out there. It's more about the bullet. The premium brands do tend to be a little bit more consistent over the chronograph and stuff like that. So, I mean, I would go, if you have a selection by you, that's a big if. I would go buy 5 or 6 premium selection. Look at my barrel twist. Make sure I got a 1 in 10 twist so I can do at least 180 to 200 grain and go from there. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with a 150 grain, Norma soft point either, a whitetail soft point. Those actually do pretty good too. So is what it is. Whatever's the most accurate in your gun is the right answer. Even if it's a bullet that breaks apart fast, like ELDX or SST, if it's the most accurate in your gun, well, then you can put the bullet right here in a moose or a deer at 200 yards, and it doesn't matter what the bullet does. You just broke the spine at the brainstem, So that's that. Good question. Like the FN 10mm video. Thank you very much, David Thompson. I appreciate it. Hi. Are you looking into the new SIG military ammo rifle? Yeah, I mean, I've researched it. Obviously, I can't buy it. I mean, when they did release it, it was $8,000, and you can only get the civilian ammo, so that's not a problem. Or that's a problem. They do have a 308 version that's out there. That's the same rifle, but in 308, which is a smart move by them. It's still $4,200 last I checked. I'm just not doing that. Just not doing that very much. No, there's no way I'm buying it. I mean, it's a cool gun. It's a cool concept. Is what it is. So titanium, tungsten rod. All right. Yeah, that's the way I would go. Titanium or tungsten. I do have a stainless steel rod in both of mine. They work. They work better than the plastic one, but just be careful. How to 45 Super a Kingdom Custom two-tone. I have Underwood 255 hardcast for my Glock 21. So if you're looking to make a 45 Super, I would ask your local gunsmith, but you're going to need a fully supported chamber barrel, probably a 24 to 28 pound mainspring in a 1911. You want to go ahead and get a barrel, especially if you're going to have to custom fit it anyway. That's 6 inches. You need 6 inches to really pull it out of that cartridge. I think there's in the 1911. There's a new hammer spring. Might be a new firing pin spring. I don't know everything about 1911. So, but yeah, you want to check into those. That's a local gunsmith question. But you do need a new fully supported barrel. Usually new magazine springs, new recoil spring. I think in the 1911 you need a new hammer spring. Yeah, but get your 6-inch barrel, even if it sticks that far out of the gun, you'll know you have the right thing. Do you like the Norma Oryx? Yeah, the Norma Oryx is an amazing bullet. It's not as aerodynamic as I'd like for long range, but up close, out of 300 yards, the Norma Oryx is an amazing bullet. Yes, and I've done a video on it, Alvaro. Go check it out. It's a 6.5 by 284 video. Ken from CKB Cast Bullets. Hope everybody's doing well. Ken has the best cast bullets if you need some. All right. I recently tried Sierra Game King bullet tips. Excellent results. Cool. What are the best lead-free bullets? Barnes right now. Barnes. Yeah, SMB ammo, it's crap in 10 millimeter. It lands far away. Seen it fall and bounce. I had some that were so non-powerful. If you look at that Glock Model 20 Gen 5, had one bounce and land on top of the gun, come out and land on top of the gun. That's how less of a kick it had. I had debris back in my face, hitting my face from that ammo in the Glock 20 Gen 5 video. That I did not have with the other type of ammo, the SMB 10 millimeter ammo. I have a box of their hollow points that I got for like $31.99 with their full metal jackets were like $29.99 here. And I just decided, I just decided, I'm not shooting that 10 millimeter. It is crap. You're right. Have you tried the Caltech Subcal 9 millimeter so far as that? I have not tried it. Good to use. All right, great check of wisdom. What would you recommend for a sore throat? The throat coat tea you get in the health section. Throat coat tea. Lord have mercy, man. We need to get this out about them. Yeah. Chuka had a video a few years back about Glock 20s blowing up, and it was with SMB ammo that it blew up with. So something to think about. And SMB there was making the ammo for herders for a while. Like they were just taking their seconds and putting it in a herder's box. So very, very, very interesting for sure. So SMB. Now everything else SMB makes has been awesome for me. It's only their 10 millimeter. Well, 300 Win Mag actually shoots the 150 grain Norma soft bullet very well, typically about 1 to 1.5 inches at 100 yards. Just picked up the ELDX, and that should 3/4 to 1 inch at 100. I'll try some bonded stuff for sure. There you go. Yep. Isn't that 9 millimeter Keltec the folding model? Yes. I trust SMB for rifle, and that is iffy sometimes. Yep. Put it in a backpack. I think the Nuke Smith & Wesson's a better gun than the Keltec. A lot of people are going, it's so expensive. You can get the Keltec for half price. And A, no, you can't. It's closer to half price, but it's not half price. And B, the Nuke Smith & Wesson's, it's side folds, so you can put a scope on it. Yeah. Why iffy? I'm shooting a Mauser from 1942 to 43. Oh, yeah, that'd be a good reason. That would definitely be a good reason. So, definitely iffy there. I agree. Cool. I was good to see some other people with 300 Win Mag in here. Kevin Battlebean. I haven't shot anything with this 300 Win Mag. When I had a 300 Win Mag in Georgia, I had a doe that I shot. That was, I shot it right through the neck at 25 yards. And I've shot deer in the neck with the 5.56, and they'll twitch a little bit and stuff. Shooting with the 300 Win Mag, they don't twitch right there. So Ruger all day. They're both magazine picky. RIA just has had too many issues in the past. The Ruger I shot was nice. So yeah, it is definitely, I would say, Ruger every day, all day for that. If I had to choose one, Ruger 1911. 200 grain federal terminal sentence is a good idea. Yeah. Hope you can find a. Do you have those for hand loading, or did you have loaded ammo already? Because I want to know where you find the bullets for hand loading. Yeah, 7.62 by 54. All right. Does anyone out there shoot a Automag 4 or 5? I do not. That like a hot 308. David Thompson, 7.62 by 54 Russian is more closer to 30-06. It's not quite 30-06, but it's what the World War II Russians used in World War II in the bolt action guns, and World War One, and they still use in certain calibers. All right, good question. If not a reloader, do you feel the inconsistency of 10 millimeter is trustworthy enough? I don't think. First of all, I don't think there is an inconsistency of 10 millimeter that isn't with any other caliber. So if I go buy a box of premium high velocity 10 millimeter, generally speaking, it's going to be loaded well. Sometimes Underwood had a bad batches there for a little while. We called them out on it, and they seem to be fixed. All that being said, like generally speaking, if you buy the high premium stuff, the hot loaded stuff, it's going to go hot loaded, and if you don't, it's going to go medium or so loaded, and you're going to get what you pay for. So I wouldn't say there is any inconsistency in 10 millimeter. All right, and now trustworthy enough. That's up to you, but I think the premise of your question is loaded with bias. It is a good question, but I just don't see where you get this word inconsistency at 10 millimeter. That being said, when you watch my chronograph test of different loads, are they inconsistent? Sure, but so is every other caliber's factory loads. So is what it is. Yes, get rid of it and send me all the brass. I mean, shoot it. I just wouldn't, make sure it's got a powder charge in it and all that kind of stuff first. The bear I shot with a 300 Win Mag with 180 grain partitions, it went through the bear lengthwise after grenading the femur. There you go. Ordered 1,000 rounds from the lower 48 that will be coming up to AK this spring. Spent twice as much on ammo as the rifle. Wanted something to work close up and far out on grizzly and moose. Yeah, you picked a good bullet. I'm hoping it shoots well out of your gun. If it doesn't, you know where to find me. I want to test it. I have to check to see all that. My dad told me to buy it. Yep. Those no press needed field reload kit? I have not. RA 1911. I love it, and after I had to send it back for warranty. Yeah, after you had to send it back for warranty. Yeah, thanks for proving my point. So that's one thing about RIA. And that being said, I think they're probably pretty decent now. They didn't used to be, but I still wouldn't. Over a Ruger? No, not even close. Yeah, the Lee load-all kits. Never had to use those. Don't really want to. Don't see a point. Is what it is. All right. Any other questions? Anybody load 458 SOCOM? I need to figure something out to do with these bullets here. 458 SOCOM. Let me know if you load it. I definitely need to figure something out. I only usually love the system. That's nice. I like the factory crimp dies. But I need a vest and a Dillon for my 223. That's for sure. So, I almost bought that one HMR Bagara. I love that one, but it was too heavy for my wife. And I was gonna get her a 300 Win Mag or keep it myself, just kind of whoever wants to hunt with it, me or her. And so I because she wanted something lighter weight to carry, so I went with the Weatherby First Light 26-inch barrel. And what I like, just like the HMR with it's 26 inches before you add the muzzle brake on, not after. So absolutely no, not JJ Griffin. It's not like that. It's a neck cartridge. I will ask questions, just you have to answer them. Well, that's fine. Do my best. Lee Enfield of Springfield 1903. Springfield 1903. Way more accurate from what I've read. I load 11 different calibers, not 458 SOCOM. Yes, you can do that. Otherwise, you get it off the shelf. That's about what it is. So, I'd love to load my own rounds with free time, but I believe it's more expensive, isn't it? No. Yes and no. If you paid yourself minimum wage, you'll never save money reloading. But if you want the right rounds, yes. But if you're loading specialty rounds, let's say, I want to buy 300 Win Mag Barnes TTSX right now at Sportsman's Warehouse. It's probably $70 for that box of ammo. Last one I bought was $77. I can load 180 grain TTSX for about 90 cents a round right now because I already have the brass. If I were buying the brass, it'd be about 100 and or not, excuse me, not 100, but $1 and like 70 cents, $1.60 for brand new brass. Yeah, $1.60 a round versus almost $4 a round. But this is what it is. Yeah, you can load the 458 bullets in your SOCOM 4570, but not these, because these are tipped and they're not the rubber tipped thing. These are the plastic tip ones. These will go off in your gun tube. Don't load these in your 4570. I mean, you can. You just need to feed them one load at a time. Why do they call it a 30-06? It's a 30 caliber, 0.308 diameter inches, and it was adopted in 1906 by the military. Okay. I do not have the the $6,000 plane ride, JJ Griffin, for a plane ride. It's $3,000 to $6,000 to $7,000. It's crazy. My dad's got the 7mm Weatherby, I think it's called. He has had it since 1999. Yeah, that's great. How hard would it be for an FFL person for ammo and guns? Not too hard. You just got to deal with distributors. I was thinking about getting a Ruger Go Out and 300 Win Mag, but I would keep debating it between it and the Bergara. There's no debate between there. You get the Bergara. No debate. So, I remember a lot about guns, David Thompson. I don't know. I'm a pretty smart guy, but I don't know about wise difference. Do you think in cold climate the Weatherby carbon barrels rifles would be prone to crack because they do have a thinner steel in the barrel? Never heard anything about that. We'll see. Inconsistency, as in most factory load ammunition, the light FBI loaded along with all the different pistol trebles versus some other heavy for caliber, more conventional. So, okay, now that's how you define inconsistency. That's not inconsistency. That's knowing what you get. Like, obviously, you don't hunt fish with for bear protection for fishing or use personal protection, you don't use that stuff. You go and you test what you do buy. So again, I don't think inconsistency. I mean, that's buyer beware, knowing what you get, but that's not inconsistency. Okay, most of those loads claim to be a 180 grain at 1,200 feet per second. Most of them don't get that in a Glock or a Springfield XD because it's a 4.5-inch barrel instead of a 5. 180 grain at 1,200 is not inconsistent. So is what it is. Marcus, they're different. You got to go get certified in black powder, and there are different hunts that you're allowed to do, but that's about that. So I love my Bergara. I got the wilderness model. It's heavy, but it shoots well. Yes, it does. Unsuppressed, and the recoil honestly feels just like my buddy's 308 HMR. Highly recommended. I love my Bergara 6.5 HMR. That's one of the most accurate rifles I have, and it shoots so sweet. And there's no recoil. Yeah. You should be an FFL. Yeah, not going through all that paperwork. You are smart, brother. Gun. I'm a gun nut. There you go. Might be worth reloading them then. Yeah. Or that Bergara barrels are very good. Yes, they are. Yep. Everything a Remington 700 should have been when Remington went to crap, Bergara is. Or better. My Bergara is the smoothest rifle I own. It's smoother than my Tika. My wife's Tika. So is yeah. So the MDT metal mags are nice. I've been thinking about going to that simply because of my Bergara is so smooth that if you and here's the reason why this is the reason why the Magpul and the Bergara mags don't work that well for me. Not the mags don't work. It's my rifle's so smooth. I have to just make sure I just jerk it and yank it all the way back. Otherwise, I don't feed around because it's so smooth. I thought if I just do it nice and gentle, I don't go all the way back. It's so smooth. I can, that's that. You want to be careful with black powder, super explosive. Yep. What's my dream hunt? Has to be dropped off somewhere from moose, to be honest with you. Oh, about a decade ago. But they've been making barrels for companies for years. I mean, that's that. Have you heard of Inner Arms, Chuck? Yes, I've heard of Inner Arms. So, yeah. Yeah. Bergara's been making stuff for years for other companies. And I think in Europe they've been popular. They're made in Spain. But my Bergara is one of my favorite rifles. If crap hits the fan and I've got to pack out a rifle, I'm carrying my Bergara and several extra mags simply for hunting and for long range target purpose. So yeah. Oh, now David, that's awesome. A real 243 real African tiger wood stock made in Manchester, England. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one. So so yeah, David, Bergara has been out the whole time I've been in Alaska. They just came out. So I wonder how many folks grew up in the 90s and like I did as a teen, probably on 20 pellet guns. I owned real guns before I owned a pellet gun. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s too, but yeah. Yep, Inner Arms, CVA rifles use Bergara. I think Bergara actually owns CVA, all of them right now. But yeah. Been looking for a 10 millimeter. Your FN review made me look at some of the others. Thanks for that review. You're welcome. And you might like the FN. The trigger stinks, but most of my grip issues are my hands and the way it fits the grip. And it's because they're so close. I don't know. They have not come out and said anything for or against that. I don't know. So yeah, 1-inch group at 200 yards. You can't believe that. Can't beat that, man. That's a good one. Yep. So Rich, to be honest with you, I'm a huge proponent of the G40. I plan on at some point getting the Gerson to try the long range hunter 10 millimeter. Just is what it is. So, I had a 22 Browning. My dad said was mine at 9 years old, but he sold it. LOL. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do stuff for money. Or are they Pro 2A? Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that. Yeah, the old toe fed. My dad had a Franchi like that. That was the first gun I ever shot. So, yeah, about then Browning made then. What is good aftermarket trigger for G20, G40? I don't use aftermarket triggers anymore because I had problems with connectors and stuff. Really heavy loads, the trigger wouldn't reset and stuff. Yeah, I'd tell you. I mean, just get an Apex. There's a few others. Will the 5? JJ Griffin, the 5.7 has caught on. It's pretty popular to shoot. I mean, yeah, where have you been? No offense, but like, yeah, it's caught on. Like, it's fun to shoot. Yeah, do I think it's going to be a great round? No. Do I think it's going to be the next military, subgun round? No. But has it caught on? Yes. Does it make me want to go fight the Goa'uld? Yes. If you don't know what that reference is, you need to do some research. So, David Thompson is coming down. I posted a link today. It was $49.99 for a box of 50 Full Metal Jackets. It was $29.99 today. Posted a link on my MeWe page. So, it's coming down. It was $29.99 yesterday on Palmetto State for their AAC brand for ballistic tips. So, of course, they're gone by the time you do it. That's why I know that it's not that it's caught on. It's gone. So, no, Springfield gets a bad rap sometimes, but my XTM Lee has been amazing. Good, I'm glad you like it. I put the metal Go Guns gas pedal on it and some Tridger Gun night sights. It's a wicked shooter, but this 16+1 is awesome. There you go, man. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Philip Mullis knows what it is. 35 here for a box of 50. Yeah, there you go. Stargate SG1 reference. There you go. Yep. What company, Chuck? Yeah. Go to my MeWe page. Got to go to my MeWe page. Check it out. It's posted there. Oh, that's a weapon, stranger. Yeah. Think they will make the Glock 40 and Gen 5? Yes. I think it's in the works. We're noted to wait for that. Gen 4 is good. Yeah, Gen 4 is good to go. There's nothing wrong with the Gen 4. What are you waiting to do? Cut the finger grooves off the front, file those down yourself with the, Dremel tool, then restipple it, So, yeah, 375 Ruger is a good round, but is what it is. Kevin, have a good one, man. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, if you got any feedback for me, let me know. Okay. But thanks for coming around, Kevin. Appreciate it. Yep. So, well, guys, it's dinner time here, and I'm going to spend some time with my family and cut the chat a little short again. Guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you all have a really wonderful night. Guys, I will see you at the range. New video tomorrow. Check out my MeWe page, my Instagram page, my Facebook, our arms directory. We're posting links over on the arms directory too. We'll see you later. Checked out the video on the FN and 460 rolling, pretty sweet. Yeah, that's on Michael Kaler's channel. That's his gun. Go check it out. Y'all take care.